Good day to you all. Have you ever found yourself captivated by a good yarn? Storytelling is a powerful tool. It's how we've shared knowledge and experience for millennia. Imagine immersing yourself in tales of valiant knights or modern-day love stories. So are you ready to unlock the power of stories and embark on your own English learning adventure? Many of you may have tried to learn English through traditional methods, textbooks, vocabulary lists and the like. These methods often focus too much on rules and rote memorization. They neglect the natural way we learn language through context, emotion and real-life situations. When you're engrossed in a story, you're not just memorizing words, you're experiencing them. Imagine being transported to a bustling marketplace in London or lost in the Scottish Highlands. Stories immerse you in the language, surrounding you with authentic sounds and rhythms. As you listen, your brain starts to decipher patterns and recognize intonation. Stories provide a rich source of vocabulary and grammar in context, and that, my friends, is the key to unlocking fluency. Traditional methods of language learning can feel like a straitjacket. You diligently memorize verb conjugations and grammatical rules, yet find yourself tongue-tied in real-life conversations. Textbooks often struggle to capture the essence of language. Without that magic, learning a language can feel like a rather dreary chore. Many of you harbor a secret fear, the fear of speaking. The thought of stumbling over your words can be enough to silence even the most eloquent soul. We tend to overthink when speaking a foreign tongue, worrying about mistakes. This self-consciousness creates a barrier between us and the people we wish to communicate with. Remember, every stumble is a step closer to fluency. Listening comprehension can leave even the most dedicated learner bewildered. Native speakers conversing at their natural pace can sound like a torrent of incomprehensible sounds. Listening comprehension is about understanding meaning within a context and grasping unspoken cues. It's about tuning your ear to the music of the language. Imagine stepping out of that stuffy classroom and onto a vibrant stage. No longer are you passively memorizing verb tenses and vocabulary lists. You are an active participant, swept away by the current of the narrative. Each sentence becomes a stepping stone on your path to fluency. This, my friends, is the magic of stories at work. Think of a story as a garden, teeming with a rich variety of linguistic flora. As you journey through its pages, you encounter new words organically, nestled within the fertile soil of context. Through stories, vocabulary acquisition becomes an adventure, a treasure hunt for linguistic gems. Each new word you collect adds a vibrant hue to your English language skills. Grammar is important, but it needn't be a tedious affair of memorizing rules. In the realm of stories, grammar becomes an invisible teacher, imparting its wisdom subtly. As you listen to or read a story, your brain unconsciously absorbs the patterns of the language. By immersing yourself in the flow of a story, you develop an intuitive grasp of English grammar. Let's talk about the different types of stories that can help you on your English learning journey. Fairy tales employ a limited vocabulary and straightforward grammar, allowing you to grasp the basics without feeling overwhelmed. They introduce you to common verbs, prepositions and sentence structures in a natural and engaging way. Fairy tales provide a gentle yet effective entry point into the world of English storytelling. Personal anecdotes are slices of everyday life that we share with friends and strangers alike. They reflect the way native speakers actually use the language in casual conversation. You'll encounter colloquialisms, slang expressions, and idiomatic phrases that bring English to life. Anecdotes often revolve around relatable experiences, making it easier to follow the narrative and pick up new vocabulary. It's a window into the heart of a language, a chance to learn English as it's spoken in the real world. For those feeling more adventurous, dive into the vast ocean of popular fiction. Mysteries, thrillers, romances, science fiction. The choices are as diverse as the English language itself. Within these pages lie hidden treasures, intricate plots, compelling characters, and thought-provoking themes. As you navigate a good novel, you'll absorb new words and phrases effortlessly. There's a world of English literature waiting to be explored. Let's delve into some practical tips to make the most of stories for improving your listening and speaking skills. Master the art of active listening by engaging with the story. Imagine you're listening to a detective story and pause to ask yourself, what clues have I gathered? What do I think will happen next? This process of active engagement enhances your comprehension and trains your brain to anticipate meaning. As you become more adept at deciphering clues, your listening skills will improve dramatically. Let's move on to a technique known as shadowing. Picture this. You're listening to a recording of a native speaker, their voice flowing effortlessly. Your task is to become their shadow, mimicking their every intonation and pause. Start with a short audio clip, listen to it, and then repeat their words aloud, matching their pace and intonation. Shadowing improves your pronunciation and fluency, making your spoken English sound more authentic and engaging. Role-play, stepping into the story. Now, let's inject a bit of drama into our language learning, shall we? Role-playing. The act of stepping into the shoes of a character and bringing them to life might sound like something out of an acting class, but it's a fantastic way to practice your speaking skills in a fun and engaging way. Choose a scene from a story you enjoy, one with a dialogue that captures your interest. Perhaps it's a tense confrontation between two rivals, a heart-to-heart conversation between friends, or a humorous exchange between strangers. Assign roles to yourself and a friend, or if you're feeling brave, take on both parts yourself. The key is to let go of your inhibitions and really commit to the role. Imagine yourself as the character, think their thoughts, feel their emotions, and let the words flow naturally. Don't worry about making mistakes. The goal is to experiment with the language, to play with different tones and expressions. Role-playing not only builds confidence and fluency, but also helps you develop a feel for natural dialogue, for the give and take of conversation. Dictation and discussion, from ear to voice. Let's sharpen our listening and writing skills with dictation. Choose an audio clip, perhaps a news report or podcast. Listen once for overall meaning, then pause and write after each sentence. Don't worry about perfect spelling, capture the sounds. Compare your version to the original transcript. Finally, discuss what you've learned with others. Verbalizing your understanding helps solidify the language. Now, let's talk about the benefits of learning English through stories, shall we? One of the most remarkable advantages is how effortlessly new vocabulary and grammar become woven into the very fabric of your memory. You see, my friends, the human mind is not a filing cabinet where we neatly store away isolated facts and figures. No, our memories are far more intricate. A tapestry of interconnected thoughts, emotions, and sensory experiences. When we encounter new language within the context of a compelling story, it's not simply memorized, it becomes entwined with the plot, the characters, the emotions evoked. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to learn a list of random objects, a toothbrush, a lampshade, a rhinoceros. A rather difficult task, wouldn't you agree? Now imagine those same objects appearing in a vivid dream, each one playing a specific role in the unfolding narrative. Suddenly those once unrelated items become imbued with meaning, their significance etched into your memory. That, my friends, is the power of stories at work. And as you delve deeper into the world of stories, something rather extraordinary begins to happen. You find yourself, perhaps to your own surprise, speaking English with greater ease and confidence. The fear of making mistakes begins to melt away, replaced by a growing sense of fluency and self-assurance. This newfound confidence stems from the fact that stories provide a safe space to experiment with the language. As you immerse yourself in different characters and scenarios, you unconsciously internalize a variety of expressions, idioms, and colloquialisms, expanding your linguistic repertoire without even realizing it. It's like learning to swim with floaties on. The floaties provide a sense of security, allowing you to focus on mastering the strokes without the fear of sinking. Similarly, stories provide a supportive framework for language acquisition, giving you the freedom to explore different ways of expressing yourself without the pressure of real-world consequences. And as you become more comfortable navigating the currents of English conversation, you'll find those floaties naturally falling away, revealing a confident and capable speaker ready to take on the world. Beyond words, cultural immersion and understanding, language is more than just words and grammar rules. It's the lifeblood of a culture, reflecting its values and traditions. Immerse yourself in a culture through its stories. Stories reveal social customs, humor and etiquette. Encounter different dialects and accents. Imagine understanding a country by just reading a travel guide. Immerse in stories to experience a place through its people. Embrace the diversity of voices and traditions. The joy of the journey, embracing the adventure. So, my friends, we've reached the end of our little chat, and I hope I've convinced you of the transformative power of stories in learning English. Remember, language learning shouldn't feel like a chore, a mountain to climb with heavy grammar books strapped to your back. It should be an adventure, a joyous exploration of new worlds and perspectives. Embrace the journey, my friends, with all its twists and turns. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, to stumble over your words, to ask for help along the way. Each fumble, each awkward pause is simply a stepping stone on your path to fluency. Remember those fairy tales we talked about? The hero never reaches their destination without facing challenges, without overcoming obstacles. Your language learning journey is no different. Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and never lose sight of the joy of discovery. For in the end, my friends, the greatest reward is not simply speaking a new language, but the worlds it opens up, the connections it fosters, and the stories it allows you to tell. A world at your fingertips. Unlocking opportunities. Imagine a world where you can converse with people from all corners of the globe. Think of the opportunities. Travel to English-speaking countries, study abroad, and pursue careers once beyond your reach. Communicating in English is a necessity in our interconnected world. It's the key to education, employment, and personal fulfillment. And this key is within your grasp. Every great journey begins with a single step. Open a book, press play on a podcast, or start a conversation. Go forth and unlock the world of opportunities. Your story begins now. Take the first step. As we draw to a close, my friends, I want to leave you with this thought. Your English learning story is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. You are the author of your own linguistic adventure, and the pen is in your hand. So what story will you choose to tell? Will it be a tale of courage and perseverance, of overcoming challenges and achieving fluency against all odds? Or perhaps it will be a light-hearted romp through the English language, filled with laughter, mishaps, and unexpected discoveries. The choice, my friends, is entirely yours. But whatever path you choose, remember to savor the journey, to embrace the joy of learning, and to never underestimate the transformative power of a good story. And who knows, perhaps one day you'll be sharing your own English learning story, inspiring others to embark on their own linguistic adventures. Until then, my friends, happy reading, happy listening, and happy storytelling.